Yeah, tough quarter. I think tonight's fourth quarter is different than some of the other fourth quarter struggles we've had. The last 48 hours, we put a lot of work into our execution. I felt like our execution was better. Shots just didn't fall, and it's a tough night. I think you got Brad battling through his back injury and trying to get his legs under him. KD's been carrying a heavy load for us all season. Played every game in pretty big minutes. But I think the execution was better than it was versus the Lakers and versus, with some of the other fourth quarter breakdowns. We just didn't make shots.
I'm curious when you said you're getting good looks, but is it almost like I saw some guys passing up some shots too, like maybe like it's a corner three and then they're kicking it to someone else.
Yeah, well, we're working through roles for certain guys. You know what I mean? Like, I thought Joshua Okogie had a big offensive improvement game. Instead of relying on, being a volume 3-point shooter, if they're gonna, sag off of him, he made a lot of we call flip plays, redrive plays, one mores to shooters. So we're doing some things with him. We're doing some things with our centers to help them finish better in the basket. Okay, or reshape and get the ball back to KD and to Brad in different ways. And we're working through those types of roles. But we definitely don't want guys passing up shots that are good looks. But we're working through those guys, working through their roles too.
You had said Brad battling the back injury. How much did that bother him tonight?
Yeah, he tweaked it in the first half, and there was questions about whether he was going to return, and he toughed it out. I mean, the guy wants to be in there. He's a warrior. He's playing through injury, and we got to commend him for that.
Coach, with the execution being better, but the shots just not falling, how frustrating is it, and what is the message to the team as far as running into the same?
Yeah, big picture. Work on our execution, and work on ways to be better. We're going to get right. Yeah, we're going to get right. Like we believe in that. We got a hell of a player coming back soon, hopefully. And, keep a big picture mindset.
You had talked about bringing KD out of the game in the third quarter instead of playing in the full quarter. How did you like that dynamic tonight?
Yeah, well, he didn't have a great fourth quarter, but, it's something that just to give us a different look, instead of riding him the whole third, get him out. We want to get him out at about the 3-minute mark, but there wasn't a stoppage. But for him to start the fourth, I thought give us a little bit of a lift there. And, but ultimately, we didn't have a good fourth, so we'll continue to evaluate.
Coach, you mentioned in that third quarter, shots weren't falling, but it seems as though that Drew Eubanks had a lot of energy, some putbacks, and he pretty much spied a lot of offense that was desperately needed to keep you in the lead and also keep you in the game. Can you talk about his efforts tonight?
Yeah, he was great. He's always playing with high energy, and he lifts us up from that standpoint. Sometimes he's able to put up some scoring numbers like he did tonight and put the ball in the basket. But his screening and his rebounding and his defense is his biggest role on his team. And when we get an offensive performance like he did tonight, that's just a bonus. So he played really well.
Defensively with Shea, what did you like about putting Josh on him, and what down the stretch is kind of the goal against a guy like that who can just create something out of nothing?
Yeah, well, we try to man up and guard more straight up than the last game after getting drilled by the Lakers from the 3-point line last game. And, it's just one of those situations. We double-teamed, we got beat with threes last game, and tried to stay home a little bit more. And, not just Shea, but, Jalen Williams killed us throughout the night, in one-on-one situations. So, credit OKC. This is a really good basketball team. They were pushing for the playoffs last year. I think they got a strong chance to be a playoff team this year, and they were too much for us tonight.
Coach, you went to a zone, I think, at the end of the first half and
Yep.
at the end of the third. How much will you do more of that? Because that seemed to be at least effective keeping guys in terms of slowing them down offensively.
Yeah, it's just it's one of the looks against that we're going to throw out there from time to time. Especially when we want to keep our center, from being targeted and keep our center in closer to the basket and. Ask our forwards to compete on the perimeter. There's been some positive. We had a couple breakdowns. They hit 2 threes against it, so we got out of it. But something that we feel like is going to be part of our package.
Frank, in your experience as a coach, you have a whole new coaching staff, basically almost completely new personnel here, except for a couple of guys. How long does it take for everything to fall into place you're in obviously a filling out period here with a lot of these guys. How long would you, and you don't have Book, but Book missed a lot of time last year too. It's like, how long do you expect it to take before things start to even out?
Every situation is different. When I just my experience coming into LA, the last time I took over a team in the first year, I was expecting to play around 500 ball the way the bronze teams did early in Miami, where they started the season for the first month or two playing 500 ball before they really built that cohesion, and we took off right away. I think that would have been the case had we been whole here. We've been a little banged up, so we're battling through that. Ultimately, we will get there for all of us in the organization and our fan base. Can't happen soon enough. We're very eager to get it going. We're working really hard at it, and it's going to come.
Coach, go ahead.
Just to clarify with Brad, when he tweaked his back, was it right before the half when he kind of looked big?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a single play, more than it was just getting irritated.
Coach, you had said, talked about Devin hoping to get him back soon. Could soon be Wednesday?
We'll see. We'll see.